In this video, we're going to talk about values, ethics, spirituality, and religion. It's definitely true that not everyone in the world is religious. Many people identify as secular, agnostic, or atheist, but religious communities can be found all over the world and across time. And research has shown that religious individuals tend to score higher on measures of psychological health and well being, in addition to physical health and longevity. But more than that, we also have evidence that religions may have helped communities and nations to function better, although this may not necessarily remain the case today. As your textbook authors note, religion is one of the activities that most clearly sets us apart from the rest of the animals. If we can learn anything from the charitable giving done and the wars fought in the name of religion, it is that people take their faith seriously. So, how does religion make people happier? One is through pain management. When people feel distressed about something they're experiencing, they often turn to religion as a method for coping. Terror management theory suggests that people have a fundamental anxiety about their death. When people are prompted to consider their own mortality, they often feel distress and anxiety. And so people turn to things like religious belief, including belief in the afterlife, as a method for coping with such unpleasantness. People often view their gods as protective parental figures and seek them out during times of pain and distress. People often describe having personal relationships with their gods. And finally, people turn to their religious communities for support, also during times of pain and suffering. People often find it very beneficial to connect with others who have similar religious viewpoints during difficult times. Another way that religion helps individuals in terms of their own well being is through a sense of belonging to something greater than themselves. That is to say, religion promotes transcendence. Collective effervescence is the phenomenon that occurs when people in large groups gather to chant, sing, dance, believe, move, or interact in some way as a collective. And this makes people feel in tuned with humanity, not just in a spiritual, metaphysical sense, but in a literal physical sense. There are also positive emotions that are perhaps uniquely associated with religion and spirituality. The emotions of awe and elevation seem to be distinct to some extent from other positive emotions like joy or serenity. And it is these elevating emotions that are most strongly activated when people are having religious experiences. In a previous slide, we talked about how people turn to their religious communities when they are feeling distressed and when they're dealing with painful circumstances in their lives. But religion also offers people a chance to be altruistic toward others. So religion helps people in two ways. Other people can help you when you're experiencing distress, and you can help others when they are experiencing distress. And other research has shown that in general, pro social and altruistic behavior are very strongly associated with well being. People are social creatures, and we seek opportunities to help others, and this makes us feel good. Religious communities offer people more opportunities than they would otherwise have to be pro social. And in general, aside from helping others, it provides a sense of social integration. That is, when people feel connected to others around them and feel that they are part of something that is morally pro social. Another way that religion binds people in communities is through a shared sense of values and moral norms that help people feel like they're living a good and virtuous life, and also to help people trust each other. Sometimes these religious norms or rules govern everyday behaviors, like when it's okay or not okay to work, what types of food we can eat and what types of food we can't eat. It governs what we can say, who we pay respect to, who to have sex with, what type of work is appropriate. Basically, religion helps provide a set of guidelines for people in terms of how to live. But aside from this, it also facilitates cooperation between people within societies by constraining the types of acceptable behaviors. Without such constraints, there would be anarchy. But is there such a thing as too much constraint? And what about personal freedoms? We'll discuss that in the next video. It's important to note that some religious communities are more positive than others, and religion is not a monolith. There are diverse examples of religious communities all over the world, and some religious sects promote unhappiness. Your textbook points out a negative example in the Westboro Baptist Church, based out of Topeka, Kansas, and the beliefs of its founder, Fred Phelps. They gather to protest the funerals of people who died from AIDS, as well as those of American soldiers who were killed in combat in Iraq. The flock holds signs bearing slogans such as "Thank God for AIDS." Westboro Baptist Church members illustrate an insight from the psychology of religion. In the words of your textbook authors, on the one hand, people might be happy by virtue of being involved in tight knit communities and get a boost in self esteem from believing that they are better than others. But on the other hand, they may view humanity as largely miserable, believe in a hateful God, and view those around them as hypocritical, intolerant, and mean. Such a view seems incompatible with a satisfying and fulfilling life, and could easily lead to feelings of estrangement and victimhood. And indeed, religions that teach that only their religion has merit and can lead to salvation, and that all other religions are to be condemned, tend to produce lower life satisfaction. Thus, religious beliefs may help happiness, but do not inevitably do so. It depends on their particular beliefs.